Hi guys, how you doing? It's Stephen here from James Glen Car Sales, and I will answer the question that's on all of your lips. What the hell is that? Because there won't be many that recognise what it actually is. This is an AutoZam AZ-1. Essentially it's a mid-engined Kai car. It's powered by a 660cc turbocharged inline 3-cylinder. It produces a whopping 64 brake horsepower. It weighs about 650 kilograms. It's rear wheel drive, it's got a 5-speed box, and it's got gull-wing doors. It has to be one of the most special little cars that I've ever had the pleasure of driving. Let's start the tour. So they were only made for about 2 years, and because ultimately they were a flop. They didn't sell in particularly high numbers. I believe there to have been only 4,000 cars produced, of which there are about 2,000 left worldwide. Exceptionally difficult to find for sale, and prices in the UK can range anywhere from £20,000 to £30,000. I had to travel to Norway for this one, and we actually managed an 1,800-mile trip home from, well, actually met the guy in Sweden, Norway, and then drove to Sweden, and then drove back through Norway to get it back to Scotland, and it was a mega trip. I will put a link to the video that I made of the trip at the end. I'll put it in the description below as well. Condition these, so the body panels are all plastic, so you don't need to worry about the bodywork rusting, but you do need to make sure that the actual tub chassis itself is all fine. So these are actually, as I mentioned, it's actually a tub chassis, so they're very, very stiff, and because of that they handle exceptionally well. I'm lucky enough to also own a Suzuki Cappuccino, which is a wonderful little car, but as far as handling is concerned, these are so much better because of how rigid the chassis is. So that's your 3-cylinder engine just tucked away in there. It's the F6A. It's actually a Suzuki motorbike engine with a turbo strap to it. It revs to about 10, but you'll be changing gear about 8 because it starts to run out puff a wee bit further up the revs. So I don't know, hopefully this will come over okay on the camera. As you can see, that there's absolutely no rust anywhere on the subframe or on the chassis rails or on the back plate. It's a really, really, really tidy wee car. It's all wax oiled underneath. It's not covered in sealer. It's just wax oil. There's nothing worse than going to see a car that you want to pay particular close attention to the underside. You can't see anything because it's covered in goo. It's actually a very rare wee car for the fact that it has ABS-Y, which means yes, as ABS. This is some service history. This is its last service in Japan. It's got a set of aftermarket wheels, because as you can see here, it should be on a 13-inch wheel, but it's actually on a 14-inch wheel, and it's got a set of Yokohama tyres which were fitted when I got it back home from Norway. Really, really cool wee aftermarket sports exhaust. Just sits so well. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Yeah, I was going to give it a go, but I'm not going to bother. But yeah, it's almost like a kind of motorbike exhaust, because well, it's essentially it is attached to a motorbike engine. The suspension on these is fully adjustable. You can adjust the toe, the camber, and the ride height, because this one has Silky Road coilover suspension, which by the looks of things was not on the car for very long, because all the shocks, dampers and the springs themselves are all in awesome shape with no rust. This is also an extremely rare part as well, carbon fibre bonnet. We've never seen another AutoZam with a carbon bonnet. Inside these panels, that's the AZ-1, that can be lifted out if you want a wee bit of extra light in the cabin. That just unclips to let a bit more light in. Again, these are something that can often be misplaced and lost. On the inside, interior is in great shape. It's got an upgraded Rocket Bunny fascia and a cover for the heating controls just down there almost gear knob and steering wheel. I've got a set of stocks to change as well because these have deteriorated through time. Factory mats and things in there as well. But it's just such a cool car. If anytime you're out in it, if you stop even for 5 minutes, you can be guaranteed that there'll be somebody wanting to come and talk to you about it. And it doesn't matter where you go. It's certainly very much a talking point for sure. So guys, that's it. It's actually my own personal car. I don't really want to sell it, but I've got a rather expensive engine rebuild, which is just round the corner, and this is making way to help pay for that. So my name's Steve. If you get any questions, please give the garage a wee call, and I can answer any questions you may have. It's 01236 77 9000. If you want to get in touch via email, I'll put the link to the website below as well. Unfortunately, it's far too old for finance, but we were quite happy to look at a part exchange. As I mentioned earlier, there'll be a video just up here that shows the full journey of the car coming back to Scotland, and if you'd like to consider subscribing so you don't miss any more stock updates, please feel free to do that by clicking this button down here. If you have a car to sell, we won't buy anycar.com, but we always buy, but we might just give, I'll try that again guys, we won't buy anycar.com, we might just buy your car, and for a great price too. Please do get in touch if you're looking for a valuation on your car. Thanks very much for making it to the end of the video guys, and if you are in the market for an AZ-1, you would absolutely be over the moon with this wee car. Thanks again, bye bye.